Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Mary Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's news, Paraguay Tzu Chi volunteers hold a free clinic for needy residents at a Tzu Chi elementary school. Miramar Tzu Chi volunteers are handing out scholarships to 5 schools, giving students who need it most a boost in life. And finally, we meet an 85-year-old Bodhisattva who is donating vegetables for an upcoming blessing ceremony in Taichung's Qingshui Jingsi Hall. We start the show in Paraguay, South America. Due to a lack of medical resources, residents there often put off seeing a doctor until it is too late. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers recently held their first free clinic at a Tzu Chi elementary school located near Ciudad del Este. Joining them were 3 native doctors who were inspired by the volunteers to donate their time and expertise.
Today, Tzu Chi is holding a free clinic at its Tzu Chi elementary school on the outskirts of Ciudad del Este for local residents who are otherwise unable to see a doctor. Joining the volunteers are also 3 local doctors who are volunteering for the first time. Here on the outskirts of Ciudad del Este, where the resources are scarce, volunteers also help get children ready for school with new uniforms and shoes, bring smiles to many faces. Tzu Chi has been holding free clinics in Paraguay since 2004. Thanks to the kindness of many who have donated medical supplies, volunteers have been able to make the free clinics a regular occurrence. They find children to be often malnourished and many adults to be suffering from high blood pressure and diabetes. And for those unable to come to the clinic, volunteers make sure their care reaches them as well. Mr. Caballero is currently bedridden following an accident, and his wife struggles to provide for their children. Thankfully, Tzu Chi is there to help. For everyone involved, from doctors to local volunteers, each person relished in the joy of giving and in the process comes to understand that true happiness lies in how much you can give, not how much you have.
In Vietnam's Binh Tre province, to tend to the health of local residents, the Buddhist Minh Duc Charitable Foundation held a large-scale free clinic at a local school in Ba Tri district, where 5,000 patients received treatment.
Overcrowded with patients seeking medical treatment, the large-scale free clinic is organized by the Buddhist Minh Duc Charitable Foundation in a local school of Ba Tri district in Binh Tre province of Vietnam. Over 5,000 residents wait patiently to see the doctors. To keep the children entertained, the volunteers bring them to join in songs.
This time, local government officials and Dharma masters asked us to provide scholarship to 150 poor students.
有协助150位贫困的同学来发奖学金。
Vietnam's Binh Tre province is located at the Mekong Delta, and its location compromises the economic development of the local area. Thanks to the charitable deeds of the local NGO, the free clinic and scholarship aid give these impoverished residents hope to escape poverty.
In Taiwan, a medical team from Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital visited Ruifang Minor Hospital, bringing medical equipment and encouragement for Ruifang Minor Hospital's upcoming accreditation. Tzu Chi volunteers also set up a Buddhist prayer room in order to tend to the spiritual needs of the seniors at the hospital.
Supported by the medical staff, 105-year-old Grandma Huang carefully sits in the commode chair designed by Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital. Today, a team from the hospital delivered wheelchairs and commode chairs to their medical partner, the Ruifang Minor Hospital. Other than sending medical equipment, the superintendent of Tzu Chi Hospital also leads a medical team here to help boost the morale of their counterparts who will soon be undergoing hospital accreditation.
These doctors, nurses, and pharmacists of the Ruifang Minor Hospital are truly admirable because they have devoted themselves to this remote area for 15 years. Thanks to them, the health of the local residents can be better safeguarded.
Having received proper medical care, the elderly at the hospital still lack a place where they can find spiritual sustenance. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers organize a simple Buddhist prayer room for them. Currently, the Ruifang Minor Hospital is the only hospital in the local area. However, due to its limited medical resources, the hospital looks to expand its cooperation with Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital.
As a regional hospital, we are in need of additional medical resources. Through cooperation with the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, we believe we can create a sound and comprehensive patient referral system.
Sharing medical resources with their counterparts, Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital hopes to expand their efforts in this area in order to safeguard the health of more residents in remote areas.
In Myanmar, the young students from Dakota Elementary School who have received the Tzu Chi scholarships for several years now understands the importance of being grateful and are determined to give back to the community.
These scholarships carry immense hope for each of these students. Tzu Chi volunteers hope that children who wish to learn are not stripped of an education due to poverty.
Some parents have to pay tuition for 2 or 3 children. Tzu Chi has really helped share their burden, and these parents are extremely happy and grateful, hoping that one day they can return the favor.
After understanding that their hard-won scholarships are made possible by the kindness of many people, these children vow to give back to their community.
When I grow up, I want to be a great engineer so I can help many people. Today, I am so thankful for everyone that has helped us, including our principal and teachers.
First, I want to thank Master Zheng Yan for giving us scholarships. When I grow up, I want to be an engineer. Seeing everyone here today motivates me to study even harder.
These children really need our help, so we subsidize the cost of a full year's tuition, as well as other school fees.
This scholarship program was started in Myanmar in 2011. Every time volunteers arrive, they are greeted warmly by these children who help them set up the venue for the event. To make sure that no one is left out, volunteers check the scholarship list again and again, for these scholarships are truly these children's only hope out of poverty.
On January 2, 2001, Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter established the world's first Tzu Chi kindergarten in Penang. Not only were countless well-mannered students cultivated, but many parents were also inspired to join the Tzu Chi family as a result.
Inspired by the sign language musical of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents, Tzu Chi kindergarten students all vowed to adopt vegetarianism as a way to express their filial piety to their parents.
Because little animals are also living beings, I don't want to kill them. I eat vegetarian food. I will show my filial piety to my parents. I will not be killing, stealing, drinking, or taking drugs. That way, my parents will not be worried.
Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. At the Tzu Chi kindergarten, each student serves as an example to their fellow classmates.
When Zhening was little, he would not eat vegetables at all. Now he is able to eat vegetarian meals without any meat. Since he is able to do so, I think we parents should follow in his footsteps.
Tzu Chi's education is good for children, especially Tzu Chi's humanistic values. That is why I insist on sending my kids to the Tzu Chi kindergarten. I think academic performance is not the priority when they are little, because they will be able to catch up when they enter elementary school. However, the cultivation of their mind and attitude is something should not be delayed. It is better to provide them with the environment where they can learn love and compassion.
As a result of the affinity between Tzu Chi and their children, the parents also have the opportunity to gain a better understanding of Tzu Chi. Now 32 parents have already become Tzu Chi members.
因为他的因缘让妈妈 Because of my daughter's connection with Tzu Chi, I had a chance to learn of Tzu Chi's Dharma and Master Cheng Yan's Dharma. Thanks to Tzu Chi, my daughter and I are able to grow and learn together. In this big family of Tzu Chi, I feel that it is not about what I can do for Tzu Chi, but instead Tzu Chi has given me immeasurable love, making my life one full of happiness and contentment.
The success of Tzu Chi's education mission is no coincidence. On January 2nd, 2001, Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter established the world's first Tzu Chi kindergarten. However, the school had a bumpy start.
On the first day of the class, there were only 21 students, and we only had 3 teachers to look after the students from age 3 to 5. We were quite frustrated, to be honest. However, we kept telling each other that since we are the disciples of Master Cheng Yan, we have to be patient on the path of education. At the same time, education is something that should not be delayed, so we had to seize the opportunity to cultivate more future talents and plant more seeds of blessings.
The first Tzu Chi kindergarten was established in Penang, followed by 5 other kindergartens in Bayang Lepas, Butterworth, Johor Bahru, Nibong Tiba, Kedah, and another daycare center in Penang. In the future, Tzu Chi's Education Center will come to Malaysia, motivating the next generation in the years to come.
Four years ago, Li Huizhen from Taoyuan, Taiwan, fell into a depressed state. It was not until she started going to a Tzu Chi recycling station that her condition improved. Now, in addition to being a committed recycling volunteer, Li also donates to her bamboo coin bank daily as a way to express her thanks for her renewed life. These are the scars where I tried to cut my wrist. They now serve to remind me of an important lesson.
Suicide was once the only option Li saw to putting an end to her miseries.
I didn't want to be a burden for my family. I thought if I became mentally unstable or started to lose my memory, I would become a burden. I decided then I would take care of my problems myself.
With a loving family behind her, Li never thought she would be one to come down with depression. As her condition worsened, however, she could no longer sleep at night, and her family began looking for solutions in temples when spending $2,000 in joss paper.
It was money to appease my ancestors. I asked my husband if he was willing to procure this amount of money.
Although the money was spent, Li's condition did not improve. Thankfully, her younger sister, who lived near a recycling station, later introduced her to Tzu Chi, and 4 months later, Li was off all medication.
I wasn't taking care of my mind. I always had vexations. In the end, I became depressed and then afraid. The more I participated, the more I realized that my previous mindset was the result of being at a dead end in life.
With her mind healed, Li's body soon followed suit. Now, not only does she donate 25 cents to her bamboo coin banks every day, but has spent countless hours volunteering at Tzu Chi's events. And at the end of this year, she will become a full-fledged volunteer.
Today's Jingsi aphorism said, when healthy, we should do more good deeds. This has been an inspiration.
Now, with the right mindset, Li is finding that her life is once again full of blessings.
Also in Taiwan, with the support of the ASU's chairman, Shi Chongtang, Tzu Chi volunteers held a blessing ceremony for employees inside the company and also put on a sign language performance to spread the message of filial piety.
To promote the right way to mark the 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a blessing ceremony for employees of Taiwan's ASU's company.
真的很会想到我妈妈
It really made me think of my mother, so I was in tears. I happen to think that being grateful and filial to parents is really important. We should not use work or any other excuse to not be filial.
很多的理由就把它忘记了。
The corporation has for over a decade refrained from burning joss paper and also hopes to share the ideal with new staff members so that they too can contribute their share.
Last year, I told our chairman that we can hold a blessing ceremony so that the Buddha will offer his blessings for our company. He was glad to hear what I had to say.
我们也在推素食嘛。
We have been promoting vegetarianism and environmental concepts. A blessing ceremony like this, which offers everyone a right mind frame, will help all the staff at ACES take in such a philosophy.
你真的目的是要慎终追远。
Our ultimate goal is to pay reverence to our ancestors, and I think by having corporations working together to promote right beliefs, this will eventually heal minds and bodies. Having all of us pursuing truth, goodness, and beauty is a wonderful thing.
In sincere reverence, Tzu Chi volunteers lead ASUS employees in praying for a world free from disasters.
And Tzu Chi volunteers from the New Zealand chapter regularly prepares vegetarian meals for needy residents. This time around, they prepare meatless sandwiches and soup to warm the stomachs of solitary senior residents.
Carefully checking on the types and numbers of ingredients, New Zealand Tzu Chi volunteers are busy preparing their weekly vegetarian workshop where they seize the opportunity to promote the benefits of meatless diets.
Very nice lunch.
The volunteer from the southern community shows her gratitude on behalf of the seniors.
That's their favorite, yeah. Yes. So you're spoiling them.
At the kitchen, volunteers are busy serving tea and preparing meals. Having worked together for many years, they are now a perfect team.
And I'm really happy to help in the kitchen with these lovely sushi people, and they make delicious vegetarian sandwiches which the guests really enjoy. There's just some lovely flavours that they have, and it's quite a treat for the people that come here.
Eating one vegetarian meal helps safeguard our planet, while donating spare change further spreads the ripple of love far and wide. Following each vegetarian workshop, the volunteers get nothing but immeasurable joy.
In our next report, let's meet 85-year-old recycling volunteer Xue Chuande. Knowing that kitchen volunteers need a large amount of vegetables for their upcoming blessing ceremony at the Qingshui Jingsi Hall, the senior decided to show his support by donating all the vegetables in his field.
This is 85-year-old Xue Chuande, who used to farm for a living.
If this plant grows again tomorrow, it will grow up big.
Despite the senior not needing to farm for a living anymore, he still insists on planting vegetables. In his fields, the senior has planted more than 10 kinds of vegetables.
I don't want to die in sickness. I'd rather farm until the last day of my life. Isn't it better?
Other than planting vegetables, Xue Chuande is also a Tzu Chi recycling volunteer. Knowing that kitchen volunteers will need large amount of vegetables for an upcoming blessing ceremony, Xue happily donates all his vegetables to Tzu Chi.
He has a goal, and that is seizing every opportunity to give because he wants to create good affinities with those around him.
Despite the senior recently undergoing foot surgery, he still insists on farming to stretch his leg muscles.
We need to live with our goals in mind so we can focus all our energies to accomplish them.
Happily donating his vegetables to Tzu Chi, Xue says planting vegetables is his way of staying in good health, and selfless giving is the secret to his happiness.
In the United States, neighborhood fairs in Modesto and Los Angeles were held earlier in August, where students visiting California on a study tour organized by Tzu Chi attended the Los Angeles event to help promote environmental protection. They were also invited on stage to perform an English Sign Language song and were well received by locals. With helicopters circling the skies and police officers patrolling the streets, you may mistake this for an anti-terrorism drill, but a close look shows locals looking relaxed. That's because they're looking forward to a special neighborhood fair that's been held for over 30 years. Southwest Los Angeles is home to many African American and Hispanics. It's also where the 1990 riots occurred. To alleviate the tension between the police and the public, this annual neighborhood fair is held on the second Tuesday in August every year. With all exciting performances, it's an event not to be missed. The U.S. Tzu Chi Medical Foundation was also invited to offer dental services.
You can only brush like up and down.
Yes. Up and down.
Brush up and down and not side to side. Speaking English slowly, these students from Taiwan were able to successfully communicate with locals.
They listened to us very patiently, waiting for us to finish speaking before asking questions.
When this group of lively and courteous young students stepped on stage, the crowd burst into cheers and applause.
Tonight, we have the students from Taiwan.
These very willing students reviewed sign language songs in English at the very last minute and performed confidently on stage, taking the opportunity to make new friends. In the Northern California city of Modesto, Tzu Chi volunteers also attended a similar fair. When locals see and feel the eco-friendly blankets made by Da'ai Technology, they could not but offer strings of praise. Volunteers also encouraged locals to take home bamboo coin banks, promoting community involvement to build a peaceful neighborhood. A group of scholars and media workers from Yunnan, China, recently came to Taiwan for a 15-day bike tour around the island. Before their journey began, the group visited the Tzu Chi grounds.
Through a few processes, plastic bottles collected by recycling volunteers are turned into eco-friendly blankets.
60万条要回收70个瓶子1条毛毯。对。
A group of delegates from Yunnan, China, arrived in Taiwan for a round-the-island bike tour and decided to visit the Tzu Chi grounds before their journey begins. Among them, Jing Fei Bao had already met Tzu Chi back home.
In Yunnan, I'm a Tzu Chi volunteer in Kunming. I will definitely bring what I learned and experienced here today back to China.
Tzu Chi's work is very practical and real. In Master Zheng Yan's words, we should just do it.
The 10-person group included researchers, media workers, and travel experts, most of whom are visiting Taiwan for the first time. Besides the recycling station, they also stopped by at the Tzu Chi Humanitarian Center next door and were all impressed by what they saw.
The exhibition and collection of the data, including video footage and pictures, as well as the design of the stage inside the TV station, were all brilliantly done.
Before their bike tour begins, this group of Chinese delegates already gained an unforgettable experience here at Tzu Chi.
At the end of the show, we go to the United States, where 35 Tzu Chi youths from across the country attended the Youth Assembly at the United Nations in New York. During the seminar, these young volunteers were eager to exchange ideals with other participants and continue to promote Tzu Chi Foundation on an international scale. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. See you next week.